Hello, and welcome to Anime Territory. I'm your host this week, Benjamin Shabbing, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Johnny, the Ultimate Void Ruhal.
Alright, a little rude.
That's the only thing I could come up with. But I didn't know I was hosting this one.
You couldn't even be like Tiger Mask or Serval Mask.
Sorry. No, because those are cool.
Okay, what about Itano's Circus?
I don't know what that means.
That's the missile thing.
Okay. I didn't know that.
I told you that, though. I told you what it was called.
Yeah, after I had my name made, or nickname.
You could have changed it. There's plenty of time.
Nah. It's fun.
Okay.
Today we are discussing Zenshu.
Which apparently means redo all or fix all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's, which was like, I noticed it was on like the drawings or whatever that she did this last time. It said fix all in English, which I'm sure was just Crunchyroll translating the Japanese on it. Mm-hmm. And so I looked it up. It's like, oh, okay. It's like when somebody tells an animator, you fucked it up so bad, go back and do it all over from scratch. Fix gotcha. All. None of it's good. Which is something she said to people before she took the clams and died. Mm. Or went into a coma or whatever the hell happened to her.
Guess it was just coma?
Yeah, I guess. Mm. I think I'm going to give this show... I'm going to go straight into my spoiler-free ranking. Okay. I think I'm going to give this show a 6.5.
6.5? Really?
I liked this show. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a 7, though.
Okay.
But 6 feels a little... maybe 6.25. I don't know. I want to give it a little bit more than a 6 to show my appreciations of the show.
Okay. I think it's 7.5.
Oh, you're going higher.
I really like this show.
Okay.
I usually don't like this type of show, but this one was engaging for me.
Okay. See, I thought I really got the tone of voice of like, you're giving it a 6.5. I thought you were like accusing me of giving it too high of a score.
No.
You also didn't seem as psyched to watch this as I was each week too.
I think it picks up towards the end.
See, I think the parts that I like about it the most are the references she makes to the drawings. So I think it gets a little middling in the middle. And then
I don't disagree with that, but I think there's enough pizzazz in there to make it still good.
Yeah, I don't want to say if they kept to the formula of the first 4 episodes, I would not have appreciated the show as much. They needed to mix some stuff up and throw in okay, now here's just some other stuff, and we're not just going to do this transformation cool drawing of the week. But to be fair, I really like those cool drawings of the week.
For the most part. There's a couple that I don't really care for. But
you want to get straight into our drawings and our rank? I think we should rank all the drawings that she made.
You want to do that first, or do you want to do just a little bit of story? I know you're scared about story, but
well, I'm not so much scared about story in that it's just boring for us to recap the show. I don't feel like that. You can go to Wikipedia for that. It's fine. And in fact, sometimes we are just going off of notes we wrote from Wikipedia, because we did watch most of these episodes a while ago. Okay. Because we're watching it as it aired. So I'll give it a little bit of a premise here. So
just very basic premise.
Is her name Natsuko? Is that our main character's name? Okay. She is an up-and-coming animator, a hotshot rising star. Mm-hmm. She's having some writer's block, though, with this romantic movie that she's director and head animator on.
Because she's never been in love before.
She also wants to do everything herself and will not unload it off on other people, which means that nothing is getting done.
Correct.
She eats a lunch that should have been thrown out.
Yes.
And it was expired clams. And for all intents and purposes, she's dead. I think she's in a coma.
Yeah.
Because spoilers, she does wake up at the end of it. Go back to the real world.
Reality world.
The country of reality.
Yep.
But she's all of a sudden, she is in the world of her favorite movie from when she was a child and when she was an adult. and still her favorite movie. A movie that nobody else really seemed to like that much.
It was a bomb in their world.
But she was obsessed with it, and, it inspired her to work really hard from a young age to hone her drawing skills and become the animator hotshot that she is today. She learns that she has the ability to summon her writing desk into this world, and whatever she draws using that writing desk will come to life, and not necessarily come to life because it's going to be doing the preordained motions that she does, which is not entirely evident at the beginning, but kind of becomes like the one weakness she has. But basically she can draw something, it will show up, and normally saves the day. And it's also normally a direct reference to something in, some iconic animation moment. So that leads us to what I want to talk about.
All right,
which is us, do we want to list them out from least favorite to favorite, or do we just want to give them each a ranking?
Okay. I didn't write them down in order. So
I did not either. I wrote them down in the order they showed up.
Well, I don't have them on a list though.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so let's just list through them now. Okay. So in episode 1, we get the giant warrior from Nausicaa, the one from the Day of Fire.
Okay.
That one's pretty dope. That one's pretty high up there.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give it a ranking out of 10?
No, say them first and then we'll rank them.
Then the next one we get the iconic missile shot of homing missiles firing on things. Looking it up for the record, it's a signature move of a certain animator who worked on this episode, and it's called Itano's Circus. It's what they refer to it. Okay. It's in a lot of stuff. It's just, if you ever seen missiles homing around, it's a shot you've seen 100 times. Like the Akira bike slide almost is the Itano Circus.
Okay.
This one, it's dope, but it doesn't. There's no character to it, if that makes sense. So that hurts it a little bit.
They're just missiles. That's cool, but
yeah, but it's a pretty dope shot. Yeah. It's always a dope shot.
Are always, they're always cool shots, but there's no, I wouldn't say originality. There's no personality, I guess.
Yeah, personality is the right word. Episode 3, we get Servo Mask, which is a reference to Tiger Mask, which we had to look up, is a manga / anime turned into a real wrestler. But I don't mean that in our world the wrestler came from the manga and is I'm an isekai into your world to be a professional wrestler. I meant that they licensed the name of the wrestler. That is a good idea, though. But yeah, Tiger Mask, which I feel was also referenced, is what Steven Universe is referencing when they make Tiger Millionaire. Just a dope luchador wrestler. Which apparently the story of Tiger Mask is that he is a heel in the U.S. wrestling, but then he becomes a face when he returns to Japan.
Okay. So he's a heel in America, but he
leaves the American leagues and he becomes a face. Okay. Which makes me. The more I read about it, I'm like, should I read this? This sounds pretty dope. Sound off in the comments if I should read Tiger Mask. I think they made an anime too, but it was probably made in the 80s, so it might not be the best animation out there.
So would you have it to where a manga wrestler is isekai to our world, or
I think so. Yeah.
Or would you have a wrestler from our world isekai?
They've done wrestler from our world gets isekai. I'm sure of it.
Okay. That one, I think you just do a little bit more creative stuff.
Yes,
the wrestlers have superpowers, actually.
Yeah,
as opposed to
want.
So you want that guy to have superpowers?
No.
Okay.
I want a realistic wrestling show, but the character just happens to be oh yeah, I magically came from this manga.
Gotcha.
Don't worry about it.
Does he look different or does he look real?
He looks real, but he looks unreal in the sense that Captain America looks unreal. I want that level of body sculpting for this guy.
Okay.
So it's The Rock doesn't exist. He's not a real person. The Rock is not a human being at this point, right?
Yeah, basically.
So I want this character to be like that. Or, no, you know what? No, I take it back. I want him to be realistically muscular.
Okay.
And just really fucking good at wrestling. And maybe every once in a while, he'll pull off some sort of signature move that it's like, that would not work in real life. Some sort of like wire fu, maybe.
Okay.
But otherwise fairly grounded. And it's just like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. I came from this manga. It's fine. And if it turns... Now a part of me is wondering if that... Because like wrestlers have fake backstories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, The Undertaker is like, I'm
so
from
he's
hell.
saying, he's like saying his actual like story, but everybody thinks it's just a character.
I don't know. I don't know if it'd be better if it's just like, oh no, this is just that character. Because like we could take this to real life. We could just have a wrestler. We have a wrestler named Tiger Mask in real life. They could just go and be like, hey, yeah, I'm Tiger Mask from the manga. I got isekai to your world. Like we could do that in real life, but it would be fake.
Okay.
You know, it wouldn't be true, or would it? But in the lore of this show, we could do either. We could have it just be his backstory, but obviously he's just whoever, or we could have it so that he is, he is legitimately from the manga, got isekai to this world, and everybody's just like, yeah, good story, kid.
Yeah, see, I think that's funny.
We'll have our writers touch it up. That would be nice.
Okay.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think there was an arc in Detective Conan where there was a Tiger Mask like wrestler, and I think he had to like wear another. Yeah, somebody like murdered somebody wearing one of his masks.
Okay.
And it's like, well, look, it's Tiger Mask there. It's like,
okay.
We found like his actual hair and stuff, and it's like. It's because
okay.
I think they took one of his actual masks and wore another mask underneath it, so that they wouldn't get their own DNA on the Tiger Mask that was left at the crime scene.
Gotcha.
Anyway, spoilers for
He like Scooby-Dooed it.
Yeah, a mask and a mask,
Gotcha.
so that the DNA evidence wouldn't be left there.
Is that how that works?
Well, it's just like if I were to wear a mask, and I like. My DNA would get in that mask from my sweat and my hair follicles and stuff. So they just wore another mask to kind of keep all that contained in.
I feel like that's not 100% foolproof, though.
I mean, no, obviously, Detective Conan saw through it.
Well, it's Detective Conan. He figures everything out.
Yeah, but he figures it out. The clues are left for us, too. It's not impossible to solve most Detective Conan mysteries.
Yeah, I know. I've seen Detective Conan. I get it.
It gets a little bit more improbable.
Okay.
And as time goes on, or, I should say there are arcs where it's like, okay, there are arcs where he's not so much solving a mystery, but trying to, like, outmaneuver the black organization. Mm-hmm. And, like, some things get played close to the chest, sort of like in The Dark Knight, when they're like, oh, Lieutenant Gordon is dead. And it's like, it was revealed later that it's something.
Spoilers for The Dark Knight.
It's fine. I guarantee everybody who listening to our podcast is familiar with The Dark Knight. My sister has watched The Dark Knight.
I don't think my sister has.
Okay. Well, she doesn't listen to the podcast, though.
That I know of.
You know what? I don't think my sister listens to this podcast. She might have given the first episode a listen to, like, I don't know, support me or something. But, like, I think my mom tried to do that, too. My sister
knows I have a podcast.
Your brother does. He's been on it.
I know my mom does. But I think that's the only two people.
I think my mom tried to listen to the first episode.
Probably a bad idea.
She was like, it was funny how you guys were treating it like it's a real show. It's like, it is a real show.
It is a real show.
Just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's not a real show.
Because we're not good at it doesn't mean we're not trying.
I explained what a podcast was to my grandpa at one point before he died. I'm like, it's like a radio show, but on the internet. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
He had no way of getting to it. Or there was no chance of him getting there. I'm sure there was a way, but very slim chance of him figuring it out. Anyway, Tiger Mask. Dope idea.
Okay.
Serval Mask is the name of the character there. Episode 4, we get Sir Exister.
Okay.
Which is from a show that she actually worked on that was called Utamin, was the name of the show. And then, so that name of the show plus the voice actor makes people think it's a character. It's more referencing the show Uta no Prince Sama.
Which sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I looked it up. Like, I have seen this, but it's like, okay, it's just sort of like a male idol type generic reference. But here is a specific instance that it's probably directly referencing. Episode 5, we get a montage, and from what I was reading, there was a Sailor Moon, there was a Gurren Lagann reference, and there was a reference to a baseball anime called Dokuben.
Nice.
And it's specifically the baseball guys from Dokuben because they got the same voice actor for the character from there.
I just don't remember those people.
I do remember Gurren Lagann showing up. I'm like, wait a minute, that was Gurren Lagann. I remember that. It might have been Gurren showing up, the little guy. Mm-hmm. I should note, I got all these by going and trying to read the episode descriptions because there was not a good list online that I could find. Maybe we should publish a list somewhere, but I feel like I'd have to rewatch and try to nail it down for sure. And then at the end we get a samurai, which I could not find an exact reference. My best bet would be some sort of Rurouni Kenshin samurai, just because that is like the samurai anime.
Gotcha.
Like the big one. I mean, Samurai Champloo for me is the samurai anime, but
yeah,
that is also a hip hop anime. Like, it doesn't quite.
Yeah,
it's doing its own thing. Episode 6, all we really get are just stairs.
Oh, I love the stairs. Episode
7 doesn't have a drawing. That's like a flashback. I mean, I guess there's drawing, like she's drawing people running, and she's like, there's see all the hard work she puts in there. Yeah, no magical drawings.
It's a good episode.
Yeah. Number 8, we get a Gundam. It's very clearly a Mobile Suit Gundam. It probably is a specific Gundam, too, if I had to look it up, but I'm not going to do that. There's no real drawings in 9, 10, 11. There's a scribble, but no completed drawings in those. And then in 12, spoilers, she draws Luke Braveheart, the character from this show, several times. Mm-hmm. But those are our drawings here. So, did you write those down?
Yep.
Okay. So what would be your least favorite drawing of these?
I mean, I should really say the stairs, but I remember the stairs.
Okay.
Again, I don't remember anything about the Sailor Moon baseball or Gurren Lagann.
So. Okay. They were very brief.
Okay. So just by default, those are like the bottom 3. Okay.
I'm going to put... I don't really care about the Luke drawing. I did call it. Mm-hmm. You got that spoiled. I'm assuming that's what was spoiled for you. You said that...
that I saw. Also, I saw that like the other 9 heroes that died came back.
Okay.
Because that's in like
the
Wikipedia.
Very end. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, they're coming back. So I thought maybe they'd have a little bit more to do, but they literally just
it's just hey, we've reborn the world, so everybody that died is back. So, including these characters we never met.
Yeah.
We're sometimes alluding.
It's a shame, because I was going to have the idea. I was like, oh, they're coming back, we can rank them now. But like, sorry. They never really showed anything, so it's like hard to do. Obviously, number 1, though, is the Golem.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's fine with me. Now, worst is Unio. I don't care what you say. I don't care what the other ones have done, what atrocities they've committed.
Yeah.
Worst is Unio. Right. What's the dragon?
Justice?
Yeah, Justice is up there.
Okay.
Because he's
a
dragon. He's a dragon that kind of sounds like a girl, so I'm into it. Mm-hmm. Kind of sounds and looks like a girl, so I'm into it. So I'm going to put Luke last.
Okay.
Then I'm going to put Sir Exister next. I just don't care.
Okay.
The bit was funny, I guess. Mm-hmm. That just felt so flat to me, that whole thing of like, here's this cult that's obsessed with ending the world. And it's just like, what if I introduce them to idol anime? And it's like, well, now we want to live forever so that we can stand this.
It's like you couldn't show them like Miyazaki or I don't know.
It's just like, look, it's the entirety of Princess Mononoke. It's like, okay, there is a reason.
Yeah, there
to
is
live.
a reason to live.
The world is cursed, but we find a reason to live. I get it. Okay. Is that the quote? I think in the sub it
Something
was,
like
the
that.
world is cursed, but yet we still want to live.
Yeah, I think that's what it
I
is.
think the dub might say that the world is cursed, yet we find reasons to live.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like that phrase better. The world is cursed, yet we find reasons to live.
As opposed to what was the other one?
The world is cursed, yet we want to live.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
And again, that might just be a translation type thing. So, okay, so those are my bottom two.
Okay.
Then I'll go Sailor Moon. Then I'll go baseball. Then I'll go stairs.
Okay. I think stairs would be right after all the ones I said, and then Luke.
Okay, so now we're getting into the ones I really like here. So we're gonna go. The next one will be the Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
Just because it's so brief, but I love Gurren Lagann, so it gets a.
I had no idea what it looked like.
Then we'll go Gundam for me.
Okay.
Then Gundam, then Missiles.
Okay.
Then the last two, Serval Mask and Giant Warrior from Nausicaa, are really tough calls. I think I'm going to go Giant Warrior, then Serval Mask.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Maybe switch the Missiles and the Gundam. The Gundam didn't get to do too much. Oh, I forgot about the Samurai. Put Samurai after Baseball Guy.
Okay.
So like higher on the list than Baseball Guy.
Gotcha. I basically agree with you. I think Nausicaa and the Serval Mask are the best.
Oh, for sure. I just have to respect the Itano Circus. It's like, oh yeah. I'm like, this is from something. And I go and try to look it up. It's like, oh, it's from everything.
Yeah.
That's why I remember it. Because I've seen it 100 times.
Like the Wilhelm scream.
Yes. It's just in everything.
It's like Hanakanaza.
So, okay. So I guess, what's the name of the little robot? Is it Io or what's his name? QJ. Okay. Who's worse, QJ or Unio?
Oh, it's Unio.
Unio is worse than QJ?
Yeah. QJ is my boy.
QJ's your boy?
Yeah.
And I just kind of find him annoying. Especially when Natsuko is like, trust me, from now on, QJ will always be charging at the most inconvenient time and will not alert us to the points coming. Like, oh, okay, he's that character. He's the plot needs him to be non-functioning so we can be surprised by things. Gotcha. I mean, like, do we want to talk about the twist in this show a bit, too?
Sure.
So the twist is that she's not the only animator in the world of A Tale of Perishing. Also, the original director is there, but in, like, bird turtle form.
So is that director dead?
I don't know. I think so.
So she, like, died and then is kind of just chilling in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so she's just like, this is my movie. I want it to have a sad ending. You keep fucking it up by fighting off my voids. So I got to get more creative. I've got to steal your ideas for creating voids.
I got to plagiarize.
And then, like, there's one, she makes a big airship, which can do the Itano Circus. She makes a thing that looks like that acts like the samurai. I think there's another one that she kind of takes.
Was it the Gurren Lagann or the Gundam?
I don't know. I think it's
Serval Mask, I think she's called.
Oh, yeah, it was Serval Mask.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
It was the samurai in the Serval Mask.
So it's like, okay, this is... But I mean, like, plagiarize in that, you know, it's a reference. Like, it's an homage, almost. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily plagiarizing. She's sort of doing the same thing. She's just taking classic animation. So, like, we can't fault her for that. But, and it's just like, okay. Like, I get wanting to make art that does not have a happy ending. It's fine. I really love some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But in this reality, these are people. And it's one thing to appreciate art with depression. It's another thing to actively work to harm people. Because like art that is depressing, it feels like most of the time the purpose is to let people know that, hey, the real world is depressing. Not everything is happy. But that's one thing. Another thing is actively acting to destroy people that are sentient, or sapient is I think the actual word. Sentient might just be response to stimulus, whereas sapient might be capable of actual like thought. Anyway, don't quote me on that.
Okay. Well, we're kind of talking about this. Question for you: is The Tale of Perishing a bad movie?
I haven't seen it. I can't tell you.
Okay. It just seems like a bad movie.
It seems like it is schlock, which might have some cool animation, but ultimately is kind of a convoluted mess.
That's what I think is just going to be.
I think there's too much stuff of like she's talking about like, oh, I know all about these 9 soldiers, and it's like, how can you have like everything that we saw that was from the movie plus all this other like 5 other characters or whatever that were dead before we even got into this world? The movie covered all of that. Like
I think it's that thing where it's like
it had to be really bloated.
Like 5 of those soldiers were already dead,
and we just get like flashbacks to them.
The movie basically starts where she comes in.
Okay,
so like the first scene would be like Yunio sacrificing himself, but then we get like the flashbacks a little bit in the middle.
Okay,
that's what my thinking.
It just feels like it would have been better if they were like, oh yeah, it was a series, as opposed to oh yeah, it's a movie that had all this shit in it. So no, I don't think it was a good movie.
Okay.
I think it might have had some really cool animation and some cool ideas, but ultimately it was a convoluted mess. That was my impression of the movie and why it was such a flop.
The general audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have any other notes? I wanted to like make my point about how the original director is fucking things up. Like no, this is a reality with people in it. Like you can't quote that you're making an artistic decision when you're actively working to kill people. Because these are people. We've established that.
Some notes I have is, when did she get the eye patch?
I think she got injured at some point in the last couple of episodes.
Okay. I just don't remember the eye patch.
Because she doesn't have the eye patch once everything is fixed. So I don't remember when exactly she gets the eye patch.
Okay.
That's Mimel that you're talking about there.
Mimel. I couldn't pronounce that name, so
I think that's how I pronounce it.
Mimel.
Something like that. The elf lady.
Yeah. That's it. That's all the notes. Got some funny question for you.
Oh, you got questions for me?
Yeah. Well, we kind of went over a lot of them, but
go ahead, ask them.
So I guess my question was, she didn't change the movie, right? So
I don't
in her
think
real
so.
world, the movie is still the same.
I think so.
That was more just kind of a dream she had, right? Or just.
I think it is a world built by the fact that the movie existed. A dream of the director, if you will. And then, because like I think the director is legit in there. I think that is. I don't think it's all like. I don't like to say it was all a dream.
Okay.
Because she still has Yunio's horn in real life.
That's true.
And
so what is it then?
It's a parallel world. I don't know what to tell you.
It's just a parallel world. Okay.
Yeah, that happens to be the setting for A Tale of Perishing. And I don't think her changing what happens in that world changes the movie itself. Okay. I could be wrong. Maybe it did change the movie. Maybe now it's a smash fucking hit. But I wouldn't like that. No, because then the director has some sort of credence to being like, you're fucking up my artistic piece.
The only thing I can think as to why the answer would be different is at the end they show the poster at like the studio, which could just be a thing like, hey, we made this movie, we have a poster of it, but also it seems like that might be something to kind of erase from their memory. No. So them having a poster of it could mean that it changed.
Maybe. But we also have to remember that her boss, Natsuko's boss, was like a producer or whatever on A Tale of Perishing as well, and has been in the business for that long. So it could just be Natsuko's like, hey, I want to put this up, from this work you made. And she's like, okay. Again, that could also be an explanation. But maybe the movie did change. But and if that's the case, then I have a little bit more respect for the original director trying to keep things back to her thing, because you are legitimately fucking up her movie. She does say something like, you keep adding to the runtime. So, the director thinks that she's messing with the movie, but it could just be that she thinks she's messing with the world of her movie and she wants it to go exactly as it was. But I would still, wrong thing for that director to do, but if it is, I can understand her a little bit more if it's like, oh no, you are manipulating my opus, my masterpiece, even though nobody else considers it a masterpiece but you and me.
Oh, maybe that's what it meant.
You can't whisper, Ben. You gotta say it out loud.
No, I was just thinking to myself. So, what is it? Natsuko teases that she has the next project in mind.
Yeah.
She's not gonna remake A Tale of Perishing, is she?
I don't think so. I don't think I'd like that.
Because that could be why she was looking at the poster. Maybe. It could be like
So she did say at the end, it's like, this is where the movie ends, but the story of how we save Luke from this or whatever is just beginning. So maybe it's a sequel to A Tale of Perishing.
Interesting.
A Tale of Rebirth.
A Tale of Perishing 2. A Tale of Rebirth.
A Tale of Perishing 3. Now you don't.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess they call it Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Is the Now You See Me 3 movie. Which, again, they should have just called the second one Now You Don't. Yeah. Then you could call the third one Now You See Me, Now You Don't. You could put them together if you wanted. But I might just get confused and think it's a double header.
Wait, what?
Okay, so there's the movie Now You See Me.
Yeah, that's the first one.
They should have called the second one Now You Don't. Agreed?
So it's just called Now You Don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then...
See, I think you have to call it Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
You think you have to have both of them in there?
Yes.
Okay. Because my pitch was you could get away with
the general audience will not get that reference. You have to tell it to them.
I feel like we would have gotten it if it came out right away.
I guess, but
because I know everybody on the internet was mad. I was mad on the internet, and that means everybody was mad on the internet.
I just feel like you gotta tell them
that it's a Knives Out adventure, a Benoit Blanc mystery.
You just can't call it The Glass Onion. They're not gonna know what that means. You have to say it's a Knives Out mystery.
Okay. But it would have been so cool to just call it Now You Don't. And nobody would go see it, and it would be prophetic. It would be true. Anyway. Tale of Perishing, do you have other questions for me?
No. My only thing was, what do you think the plot would be for Tale of Perishing 2?
I think it is it starts up right where Tale of Perishing ends.
Okay.
We've got somebody. It's got to get meta. It's got to be meta like Zenshu is meta.
Okay.
We start with Natsuko actually like watching. We get the ending scene of A Tale of Perishing, and then it comes out, and Natsuko is like, "Man, what a great movie!" And then, but I really love Luke. I've been in love with Luke since I was a child. Maybe. So and then she just starts drawing.
So she's just putting herself on blast in this movie?
So, let me finish.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
So she's watching the movie okay?
You're already gone.
She's like, I love that movie, but I feel so bad for Luke. Why can't things go back? Why can't things be better? So she starts drawing her fan art, alright?
Okay.
And then lightning strikes, and she gets sucked into her fan art. Now, a shortened version of the plot of Zenshu happens.
Okay.
Alright? And then we see the actual final scene of Zenshu where she saves Luke and everybody comes back. That's like the 3/4 of the way through the movie.
Okay.
And then, I don't know. Like,
do you really want to...
A big bear shows up and they have to, like, team up and befriend it. I don't know. I'm losing my
really
steam.
Lost it.
I am losing my steam because, like, if you wanted to pick up where A Tale of Perishing ends, you either have to have some context for why Natsuko is there and saving Luke, or you just have to do a completely different story.
Yeah.
Or you have to remake it, like you said. So
the only thing I can think of is like the world was destroyed, but like some remnants of it survived, and it's way in the future, and it's just like a different kind of story.
Okay, maybe some pure soul, like, finds some sort of ghost of Luke.
Maybe.
And then is able to, like...
It could be like Luke is the ultimate void, but then when he destroys the world, he goes back to his original form or something. And he's like a hermit.
Yeah.
And he finds him.
Kind of like at the end of... no, I'm not going to say that. There'll be a spoiler for Dune Messiah.
Okay.
And Children of Dune.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Can we get Duncan Idaho in it?
I guess. I don't know. It's not my movie.
Okay.
I don't know, that might be an IP thing, but I'm sure Warner Brothers is fine. They need cash, right?
I don't know. Apparently, they can just stop making movies and sell it to other people so that they can release those movies.
Yeah. I mean, they just made $50 million. So.
Yeah. But I guess they thought that would be more than what they'd make actually releasing Coyote versus Acme. Or is it Acme versus Coyote? It'd be Coyote versus Acme, right? That's the name of the movie?
I think so. It depends on who's suing who.
I think it would have to be Coyote, Wile E. Coyote, suing Acme for all the faulty products.
Okay.
I don't know why Acme
movie. I don't know why they didn't release that.
It sounds so fun. I mean, did you watch the Day the Earth Blew Up?
No, I didn't.
So I went and did see that, and it's like, oh, there's some moments where I'm like, okay, this is a little, like, cringy, like when they're Daffy and Porky are job hunting, and at one point they try to become influencers, and Daffy like inflates his butt and is shaking on camera, and that was like the one part where I'm like, all right, whatever. I guess kids think that's funny. Mm-hmm. The rest of it, pretty good.
Okay.
There are some really laugh out loud moments too. I full belly laughed watching that movie. Coyote versus Acme seems more up my what I'd want to watch, which is okay. It is a courtroom drama that just happens to have Wile E. Coyote in it.
Yeah,
like I want it to be good so bad. I want it to be good. Mm-hmm. You want to close this out here? Or you have any last thoughts?
No, I don't think so. I like this more than you. I think people should watch it.
Yeah, I think people should watch it. I just don't know if I can give it a 7. I've got problems with it. The problem mainly just being pacing issues, potentially. Okay. Just like some tired character tropes on some things. And
I got you. Thanks for listening. You can follow us on X/Twitter at @anime_territory. We are on most podcast services, and we are on YouTube.
You are now leaving the anime territory.
Goodbye.